Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Happiness Company. I am Avani, and we are reviewing the book Joyful by Ingrid Fetell Lee. In this episode, that is the episode 5 in our series, we are going to be talking about a few hacks, just the way we started in our previous episode, and how some practices can make your life more beautiful, amazing, joyful, colorful, everything nice. So, continuing with our hacks and ideas about beautiful households and beautiful places to live in, let's talk about the Indianness here. So, not all people design their houses. So, minimalism, maximalism, both of those terms don't even exist. They don't even care to design their houses. They just want a minimal amount of architecture inside the space, and that is it. So in such situations, when you are more Indian in your, conduct, what you need to do is you make sure that you're getting more light out from outside. Like your spaces are not enclosed, like your buildings are not, your doors and windows do not shut everything out. You make sure that there is proper ventilation. You make sure that there is proper light, and we always have puja ghars and stuff like that. So those places are properly adorned. They are colorful. So you have color spaces, color spots everywhere, so that you don't have to worry much. So the design is very simplistic, right? You just put a table here, and that is it. That's how Indianness is. You don't actually care much about POPs, and although now we are growing in metro cities, we are realizing the importance of it. So even when you put those things, you make sure your walls are painted in bright colors. So people will still kind of object, right? You don't want it to be bright yellow. You don't want it to be bright orange. You don't want it to be bright green. So at least bring a little bit of cream over there, some cream, some light brown shades, something that also makes you feel sophisticated and also brings the energy in you. So those kinds of colors, the creamish, a little bit of red maybe, a little bit of yellow maybe, which is light yellow, that actually is very light, so it won't actually cause that kind of bright light or bright reflection onto your eyes and stuff like that. So when you are designing a house, again and again, I keep repeating, you need to find a balance between minimalism and maximalism, because ultimately we are supposed to be very practical. I talked about Oswald and Noddy in our first or second episode, and we know that this world is not like Oswald and Noddy. This world is not like Toyland. This world is not like the big city in Oswald. So yes, you will have to find that kind of balance, but the minimalistic thing that you need to do is have proper ventilation, have proper brightness coming into your house, and also have a garden. That's very important. Next important thing will be to also spend some time with pets and children, because these things make you feel really well, right? If you have a pet around, people have this research has also shown that people who have got pets in their houses are happier than people who do not have pets in their houses. It's not necessary, but if you really want to have a dog, have a cat, take care of them, spend some really beautiful time with them, make sure you're going out on park strolls and visiting birds and talking to them, feeding them, or whatever seems okay to you, whatever seems convenient to you. Yes, because I told you that you don't have to spend your time with nature every now and then to feel joyful, because you create your surroundings that way. But it's not a bad thing to go out into parks and be around trees and children. This time of your life is very much important. When you are spending some lone time, it's somewhere or the other healing your body, healing your being, and you don't want to miss out on that. Next thing would be to choose the decorations and the objects that you use in your house very carefully. So have you heard of this brand Chumbak? It's quite famous in India now, and they create designer products, very flashy, very lively. They're really good, although I don't personally like the brand, but there are many of my friends who love the brand. So you have got various options to decide from. There's daily objects, there's post box, and there's this Japanese brand Miniso, who's got a lot of stores in India right now. I gave you an example of this bottle in one of our episodes, and how it's important to find that kind of a balance. If you are good at craftsmanship, then make sure you decorate your room with different kinds of crafts and art. You know how minimalistic it should be, you know how abundant it should be, and buy products from these places and make sure you place them properly, because we end up buying expensive products which are very angular shaped and very very restrictive in their own being, and when we look at them we feel like we're owning an antique, but that's not the truth. You're actually not owning an antique, you're owning a disruption in your life to some extent. If it's a properly structured box, it would make sense once, twice, thrice, but it would slowly start to affect your life. We don't even realize it, do we? Before I actually talk to you about this, did you realize how important it was to have proper curvatures and proper shaped objects and colorful objects and colors all around you? You didn't, because we don't know how these things are actually affecting our life. For an experiment, try bringing on more colors in your room, like on temporary basis. Maybe rent some really beautiful furniture from Falenco, which is curved and which is going by the standards or criteria of what we discussed in all of these videos, and see how it works out for you. Maybe own a flower pot that's properly placed in, place a few flowers in it. Maybe buy some indoor plants and then place it everywhere in your room or in a part of your room, and see how it changes your perception, your life. Bringing out more colors will never prove to be negative. Yes, it will make you a little more risk taking, it will make you a little more lively, it will connect you to life a little bit more, and the change might seem a little overwhelming for you, but as soon as you embrace it, as soon as you move a step forward, I'm sure your life will be beautiful and amazing. In our next video, we wrap up all that we have discussed about the book Joyful.